Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another video on Modern Warships. I'm The Unknown, and today I am going to be doing an in-depth review of the Wardens of the Deep event. And I haven't finished it quite yet. I'm pretty much almost there to finishing it. But I already pretty much have everything important there is to mention. So we're going to go ahead and go over it, starting with the overall parameters of the event. So you have your typical 13 stages, with the most important stages, like you have this nice Tiger's Roar flag, which doesn't look too bad. You have 3 spins here. You got the Admiral Avatar dude. You have 7 spins here, so that's 10 spins plus 20, that's 30 free spins. You have the title Shadow of the Gulf with this new Dragonfire air defense, which we'll take a look at on the press account. And as you progress through the event, you unlock discounts with the event. And obviously the smartest choice is to get the 85% discount. We go to special offers. You can buy the skin for $15. Or no, that's the ship. Never mind. You can buy the ship for $100 if you don't want to wait. And then you have the skin bundle here, which you can buy like 5 of them. And it's a pretty nice skin. We'll go ahead and take a look at it shortly. But it also comes with a legendary flag with 15 keys. Then we have the event points, and every 2 hours you're able to get 1,000 event points by watching ads or spending gold, or every 7 hours, I believe, to get a free 300 just right off the bat. Next, we have the Gacha, and once again, the devs find a way to screw it up. We'll start off with the bad crap because the devs just never seem to get it right. It's the stupid consumables. Okay, we hate them. I've said it a billion times in the Creators Crew chat. I've pinged the developers on it many times of removing anything that can be bought with in-game currency that's not art coins. So dollars and gold items should not be in a pay-to-win gacha. I'm tired of spending money for things that I can spend gold for. The least you can do, devs, is if you're going to add a consumable, add a premium consumable like in the free-to-play gacha. It's not that hard. Either that or put the event flag in there. I am sick and tired of mentioning it. My viewers are sick and tired of hearing it. And I'm pretty sure y'all are sick and tired of me ranting about it in the YouTubers chat. So why don't you stop, I don't know what it is y'all think you're doing. But for the love of God, stop putting anything that can be bought with in-game currencies in a pay-to-win gacha. Anyways. So we have the San Antonio in there. We have the Orca, or free art coins as I like to call it. We have the Chinese anti-air missile, and we have the USS Iowa, the second legendary gacha ship ever added in the game, and lo and behold, it's American. Love it. I love it. Next, we have the free-to-play gacha, which we have the Indian cruise missile. Another Indian missile. I like this. Another piece of Indian armament. We'll take a look at that shortly. We have 2 Mangustas in here. This is actually a pretty stacked gacha. We have an Aka torpedo in here. This is a perfect free-to-play gacha. This right here is the perfect free-to-play gacha. I wish it could be as perfect as the pay-to-win gacha, but I guess we're just asking too much from the developers. Next, we have the spins and boosters you can buy. I really wish the devs would add boosters in the pay-to-win gacha. That was honestly the best thing they actually did. And next, we have the leaderboards to advertise who spends the most money. I had the number 1 spot for a split second, but as you guys can see, I'm currently number 9. Next, we have the spins gacha, or the spins leaderboard, and as you can see, the Chinese no-lifer cheater guy has taken over. We have the event leaderboard, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Chinese no-lifer cheater was also in this one. Looks like he's not, but he will soon. And yeah, this is for the people who grind the event points. And then we have the event missions, and it already looks like I already did some, so let's go. We'll go ahead and claim that. And then we have the event rules. The event rules in here, we have Tandem Wars, which, I'm not going to lie, Tandem Wars isn't the worst event game mode. It's definitely not the best, but it's better than nothing. Alright, getting that out of the way, we can finally take a look at some of the items that we have here. And first off, I want to take a look at the skin, so let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, I already have it equipped on the bundle ship, which we'll take a look at again shortly, but I just wanted to take a quick look at the skin, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the best skins with a little animated thing in the front. I love the dragon head that breathes fire. I wish the fire was more animated and more fire-like and not orange smoke. But needless to say, it is still a pretty good bundle skin. I'm very happy. These bundle skins are always worth $15. There's only been like one or two that weren't worth $15. So it's nice to see that this is one of those that is actually worth the purchase. And with that out of the way, we can finally take a look at our very first Gacha reward. We have the ERS Tensho. It is a plasma railgun, unfortunately. It's my least favorite railgun, but honestly, I'm going to give this cannon a chance. It does 33,800 damage, and if we compare that to the Densho, it does more damage than the Densho, and rightfully so. It's a pay-to-win cannon. I would hope it does more damage. Also, the reload is 5.6 seconds, so again, very nice. It also has a very quick charge, so I hear. So yeah. And it has a range of 17.33 kilometers. That is absolutely insane. I don't know who's going to be 17 kilometers away, but that's honestly really freaking cool. Let's go ahead and test out the damage of this thing. Alright, so we're going to use the Yamato as our test subject here. We're going to go ahead and see how much damage this thing can do. And they were not lying. This thing has a very quick charge. This is obvious. This is probably my favorite plasma railgun. It's a very fast charge, very nice 5-second reload. It's pretty much like a Monarch or like an Emerge railgun, but less pay to win because it doesn't have AoE. But it has a consistent 69,000 damage. It looks like. Honestly, a very nice cannon. Definitely worth the gambling, as they would say. Alright, and with that out of the way, we can finally announce the elephants in the room, starting with the very first legendary South Korean cruiser implemented into the game. The ROKS, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that too. So yeah, this thing has been labeled to be a South Korean arsenal ship, which honestly is very surprising to me. I have very high expectations for this. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be comparing this directly with the Arsenal. So its durability is 559,000 damage, whereas the Arsenal is 559,000 damage, so they have the same health. The speed is 22.7, whereas the Arsenal is 24.8, and rightfully so. It's more pay to win. Its maneuverability is 12.6, whereas the Arsenal is 11.1, so it has more maneuverability. The aerial visibility is 5.8, or 5.08. Underwater visibility is... No, surface visibility is 4.69. Underwater visibility is 3.78. Stealth is 8. Moving penalty is 9. And recon data is 3, I guess. Okay. So now we move on to the Hyunmoo 2C, which is... It is a anti-flare missile, so that's nice. And it can be launched by the drone helicopter, which is also a plus. Definitely good for the coward who love hiding behind rocks the entire time. So the damage of this thing is 20,800 damage, and it looks like rounds per burst is 6. So that's going to be about over 100,000 damage in anti-flare. That's pretty nice. The durability is 45, though, so that is a huge minus. The rate of fire is 4. The reload is 9.8. Not bad. The range is 15.6 kilometers. Very nice. The grenade launchers of this thing are known to be very accurate, so to speak. It has a speed of 427.6, a reload of 6.16 seconds, not bad. Range of 9.53 kilometers. Not the worst. Yeah, that's pretty good. The drone helicopter has a durability of 13,000, a speed of 83.4, maneuverability of 143, view range of 10, aerial visibility of 3.26, surface visibility of 2.86, underwater visibility of 1.77, stealth percentage of 4, recon data of 8, and aviation reserve of 3. And it comes with the brand new gold air defense, which is very nice. I kind of kept it on this ship because it just fit. Yeah, and then we have another air defense, and then we have the locked LSAM air defense. All right, let's go ahead and test the South Korean arsenal ship. I have very high expectations for this. And I gotta say, it is definitely weirder than the Arsenal. The Arsenal looks cleaner, in my opinion, but I do love the front like the look of the front of the ship, especially without the skin. It looks very nice. With the skin, it adds a little bit more detail. It makes it look a little better. Very nice. I'm actually very happy with the purchase just based off of the looks. Now let's go ahead. We're going to use the drone helicopter first because I kind of want to see. And I love the view of this helicopter. I wish all helicopters had this view, but unfortunately that's just asking too much from the developers. So let's go ahead and test out those missiles. You can see even the bot air defense still shoots them all down relatively well because they're just bot air defenses. That's why. Battlecruiser. Alright. And it looks like my bot decided it wanted to waste the smoke. Let's go ahead and test the accuracy of these grenade launchers. Let's go ahead. He's going this way. Cool. And wow. 100% accurate. Very nice. 91,000 damage every 6 seconds is not the worst. Obviously, the reason it's not too accurate is because I keep moving the camera because of the ship. Alright, there we go. As you can see, no bullet spread. 100% accurate grenade launchers. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely a massive plus with the ship. I haven't even used the cannons because all I have been using is the missiles. But I will say this is definitely a great alternative for the Arsenal ship. I gotta say, I'm impressed. The devs definitely delivered. This is definitely worth the $40, and that's more that can what be said for the HMS Paladin, unfortunately. That thing was a huge flop in my opinion. But yeah, this thing handles itself relatively well. I'm pretty sure it won't be able to handle itself this well online because as the devs have stated many times before, it is a very large target and it is very easy to hit. So your best bet would to stick to behind cover and try to defend yourself that way. I will say this thing will definitely be it will be a really insane close range brawler. This thing is very freaking nice. I might be using this quite a bit. Let's go ahead. This guy flared his missiles. Let's go ahead and launch all of our missiles and see if we can knock them out. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. 3 kills on the board. 3 out of the 5. Hell yeah. Even with the railgun, this thing is actually really nice. It has a very nice, consistent damage to it. Definitely very, very nice. Yep, that freaking bot stole that kill. Very nice. All right. So my initial thoughts on this ship out of like the very first match I've used it with, it is definitely worth the $40. It is a little bit slow, but it makes up for maneuverability, and maneuverability is very nice to have. It doesn't matter how fast or how fast or slow a ship is. If it has good maneuverability, it's pretty good. Like the Ushakov is slow, but good maneuverability. It's pretty nice. If you guys have the money, I recommend picking this ship up. It's honestly pretty cool. I'm impressed with it. I had high expectations. The devs delivered. It's pretty cool. Moving on to the USS Iowa. And this one I have bigger expectations for. Not only did Verplant suggest this to be added in the game a few years ago, but the game designer who was in charge of adding this suggested, and he actually came to me directly and asked me what the parameters of this ship should be. So I'm going to compare this to the Richelieu because I told the developer flat out that this thing needs to be a competitor for the Richelieu. So I have insanely high expectations of this ship. So getting into it, it has a durability of 559,000, and as opposed to the Richelieu has less durability. The speed is 22.2. The speed of it's honestly faster than the Richelieu. All right, we're off to a pretty good start. The maneuverability is 8.8. The maneuverability of this one is 9.1. So, though this ship is faster, it is less maneuverable. It has a view range of 12.4, just a little bit less than the Richelieu. An aerial visibility of 5.67, just barely less than the Richelieu. It has an underwater visibility of 4.25. It has more than the Richelieu. The movement penalty is 11.5, and it has less of a movement penalty than the Richelieu. That's very nice. And the recon data is 2, whereas the recon data of this one is also 2. So very nice. They have the same recon data. Moving on to the main guns. All right. So the main guns do 13,000 damage per round, as opposed to the Richelieu that does 11,700, and these are less accurate. I was told that these cannons are very, very accurate. So we're going to see that. It has a reload of 11.9 seconds. It is more than the Richelieu. Rounds per attack is 3. Firing penalty is 45. A range of 17 kilometers. Oh my god. Let's compare that. Okay, so the range of this one's also 17, but obviously this thing is more accurate. Can't wait to see that. Yeah, so the armaments were suggested by me, except for the grenade launcher. I didn't suggest it to be locked. I did suggest for a 2 grenade launcher slot, but unlocked. But it is what it is. So the secondary guns, I believe these are the same ones on the Montana, if I'm not mistaken. 554. No, they're not the same. Okay, so I think these are the same ones on the Missouri then. Yeah, probably. Yeah, same ones on the Missouri. All right, let's see if anything changed. Okay, so the damage is obviously more. It does 2,470. The speed is pretty good. Rate of fire, 6.25. Range is 11.27 kilometers. Reload is 4.5 seconds. Very nice. All right, the ASROC, the very first legendary ASROC. Damage of 4,875 with a reload of 7 seconds. Not terrible. The range is 13 kilometers, and it has 6 rounds per attack. All right, very nice. I do believe these are the same autocannons on the Montana. Let me see. Bofors 40, L60. Pretty sure they're the same ones. Yeah, Mark 12. Yeah, they're slightly different, but yeah, they're kind of the same. And then it has 2x air defense slots. So I put a full American build. I wanted to make this thing full American. And I do love the detail of the American flag on that cannon. It looks superb. The developer did pride himself on adding this detail, and I gotta say, it is definitely very nice to have. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm excited to test this thing out. All right, the USS Iowa, the second legendary gacha ship in the game. And I got, oh wow, it's actually pretty agile. It does turn on a dime. It is pretty nice. All right, we're off to a really good start here. All right. So I'm going to say it's probably going to do about 21 knots. Very nice. Very freaking nice indeed. Wow. All right. We are getting somewhere. Now I got to see how accurate it is. It's fast. It's agile. But is it accurate? Let's see that bullet spread. Okay. Okay. That's actually not bad. Hold on. That's actually not bad at all. And it has a decent reload too. I mean, 11 seconds. The grenade launchers are pretty accurate too, I gotta say. See the damage. Oh, good night. Good night. Wow, okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and get a burst in here. Just, Jesus Christ, dude. You're joking. Oh my god, I love this thing. Oh, this is probably my favorite battleship now, minus the Richelieu. Dude, this thing is honestly insane. The reload of the grenade launchers could definitely improve, but honestly, I don't think it matters, dude. I don't think it matters. I really don't. I'm gonna take a second real quick. I'm gonna let that pang pass me. If we're facing straight forward, I want to see how accurate these main guns are. What's the bullet spread looking like? That looks to be less than the Richelieu. That actually looks to be less than the Richelieu, dude. That's insane. And those secondary guns, they deal really good damage for how fast the reload is too. Wow. All right. So just based off of the first impressions of using this thing, I gotta say, I gotta say, I am impressed. Very impressed. I had high expectations, and the developer, shout out to you, man. Shout out to developer Zebra for wanting to put this in the game and actually coming to me about what the parameters of this thing should be. The fact that this thing is in the game because of her plant, and the fact that it's very good because of the way that I wanted this ship to be, the developer did this. He made this perfect. Very accurate main guns that do really good damage. Secondary guns that do good damage. Grenade launchers and missiles. That is one thing that I did suggest about this, is I wanted this thing to have both grenade launchers and missiles, because I wanted this thing to be a very good brawler and a really good sniper. Like I said before, I wanted this thing to be a Richelieu competitor And I gotta say, this thing right here is a worthy competitor of the Richelieu. Those who know about the conversation I had with the developer, I had this conversation back in June. And yeah, I wanted this thing to be fast, agile, and a decently fast reload on all of the guns. And this dude delivered it so good. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm genuinely freaking happy that this thing is here and it's so good. Shout out to developer Zebra. Shout out to Overplant. Y'all made this happen. It's so freaking nice. Let's go ahead and review the rest of the stuff. All right, now that we have the press account in hand, we're going to go ahead and install that new Indian missile on there. I love the fact that the developers added another Indian missile to the game. There it is right there. And it looks to be very promising. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it real quick. All right, so this thing does 17,550 damage with a range of 14.73 kilometers and a reload of 4.9 seconds. So something tells me this is an anti-air missile. Yep. Oh my god, that was a lucky guess. Oh, okay. Very nice. Does it have area damage? All right, well, we're going to find out. All right, let's go ahead. And we're not going to test it on an aerial target because we all know how anti-air missiles work. I want to see the launch capability. Oh, okay, that's actually very nice. Yeah, okay, I do like this missile. Right off the bat, it's a very nice missile. A consistent 35,100 damage every 4.9 seconds. This missile is perfect. It could be a brawler missile or it could be an anti-air missile. This is better than the legendary Chinese anti-air missile by far. All right, and the Dragonfire laser air defense does 58.5 damage with a range of 3.25 kilometers and a 4.9 second reload. Very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to test this offline real quick. While we're at it, we'll take a look at the skin or the ship without the skin on it. And I got to say, it is one of the very few ships that actually look good without the skin. I love the pattern of the ship. It has those like very nice hexagons and stuff. Looks pretty cool, I got to say. That is very nice. But yeah, like honestly, let's go ahead. We'll just test the capability of the anti-air missile. Unfortunately, it's not immune to flares, but it does get the job done if the aircraft don't flare. So that is pretty nice. And wow, oh wow, so the air defenses actually do shred planes. Now, granted, these planes aren't upgraded, but it does get the job done. Look how much damage 6 of these things does. Hold on, we'll see what happens. They don't do that much damage, but they do enough. These lasers are mostly there for intercepting, like, X-51s and stuff.
I'm disappointed about.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review on the event. Honestly, I gotta say it's one of the better events, minus that consumable in the gacha. I think that's just stupid, and the devs need to remove it, like, instantly. It's very stupid, and I'm tired of it. But overall, I gotta say, I'm impressed. The Iowa exceeded my expectations. I am very impressed with it. Again, shout out to Zebra and Verplant. Y'all are G's. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all got in the gacha. And let me know what you guys think of the event overall and the rewards. And I'll see you guys in the next video.